But yeah, that does happen around here. It's upsetting. So any questions on that? We do have caribou, but it's in the park, far in the mountains, and you have to have a special license to go hunt caribou. You do have a license for hunting moose here. It's 2 people per tag, like 2 people per 1 moose, you know. And there is a male and a female. You can have a draw for a calf. Oh, in excess of 3,500 come out in that week. Yeah, it's there. The moose population is big, and depending, there's always studies going on, and if they feel the population is higher, they will allow more cows and calf draw. You know, so depending on year to year. Bear season is in the spring and early summer, May, June, July, and it's black bear only. There are no grizzlies here. The other thing I'm going to touch on is housing. Someone had already asked me that question. Cost of housing. The simple answer is location, location, location. If you live on the water and have a view, you're going to pay. Housing in Barishwa, where I live, is quite expensive. When I was growing up, it was not so, but it is now. One reason is there's no land to be had. Locals, people already own the land. So now with the increase in tourism and people wanting to come to the Gaspé and people returning home to the Gaspé, if you want to buy, you're going to pay. I'm going to give you an example. We bought our place 15 years ago, a small little bungalow. Guys, it's not much bigger than a chicken coop, okay? 1 bathroom. We didn't have that in Alberta. Let me tell you, what a step down to go to 1 bathroom. Anyway, very small little house. It's very nice. It's still too big when we come to clean it, you know, but anyway, it's small. We paid $68,000 for that 15 years ago. People told us, oh my God, you got took because you way overpaid. However, it's evaluated at $281,000 today. Now, we probably wouldn't get that for it, but you never know. But we're not planning on selling anytime soon. It's going to go on to our son, and he can do whatever he wants with us. We won't be here. But, so, you know, you can see the difference, you know, 15 years has made. If you live off the main drag to some distance, like I live 3/4 of a mile off the main drag, but we have the view of Percy Rock and Bonaventure Island, so that's what we're paying for. But if you live off where you don't see the water, then housing is very reasonable, like even cheap. You know, you can get a half decent little house for, you know, 50,000 to 100,000, no problem. So that's the cost of housing. The older homes, the big homes, have been there for a long time, and you'll notice that most of them are covered now in vinyl siding. That's just the new way they've done things. Like as people got older with having to paint your house all the time, at some point the government gave help to seniors to update your house, so they got, you know, a grant or something from the government. So most people have vinyl siding on their houses, even the older ones. The older ones heat still with wood and a combination of wood and oil. And they may even have some electric rads, you know, for in the cold days in the spring and the fall. The new small bungalows is all heated with electricity. And here in the province of Quebec, electricity is still a very, very reasonable commodity. This has a little bit to do with back in the 1980s, they built a dam up in Fort St. John to provide electricity, and they sell the electricity to all the northern states. But when they were building the dam, people were very upset and worried about, you know, the cost. And the government promised people that they would not put up the cost of electricity. And my God, they've kept their promise for a very long time. So it's really very reasonable to heat and use electricity here in Quebec. Probably the cheapest province in all of Canada. A question? What's this? On the shoreline here, oh, upward of 200. Upward, more like 350,000 up. Yeah. But for here, this is very, very expensive. People don't know that kind of money. You know, they're just not familiar with that kind of money. They just shake their head. Anything over 100,000 is way too much money for the people around here. You know? Now, I do have health care on here. I know that the majority of the people here are Americans. Your healthcare system is very different than ours. A lot of people don't like our system. I'm just going to very quickly tell you a little bit of the way ours works, okay? Ours is a socialist system. It appears to work well because it's what the people know. You know, it's what the people already have, and it appears to work well. And I think it works less well now than it did years ago. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I'll tell you how it works. You know, you pay into it when you're working. Then when you go to the hospital or the doctor's office, you don't put any money out of your pocket. Okay, so you pay a certain amount of your paycheck, goes to pay for health care. And I know nothing of tax. I know nothing. It doesn't come off your taxes. It comes off of your paycheck. Okay, and so you think your health care is free. It's not. You're paying for it. And you're paying big money. You know. Now, years ago, there were less people, less senior citizens, and more people in the working force, okay? So there were more money being brought in for health care. Now, all us baby boomers, we're all seniors now, and we're not paying into health care. Well, we're paying a certain amount. There's some comes off of our pension still to pay for health care. But, and now there are not as many trained personnel because there's no more people to look after all of us seniors. So, you know, care has slowed down. However, if you have an emergency problem, like God help if you have a heart attack, and it's not, you can't handle it here at one of our local hospitals, you will be airlifted before you can blink your eyes. They will take you to Quebec City or Rimouski. You will be taken care of and possibly be back home within 48 hours, sitting in your own living room. It's that efficient. It's the same thing if you happen to have a diagnosis of possible cancer. They will send you out and you will be diagnosed, and treatment will start in as little as 2.5 to 3 weeks. Much better service than in the cities anywhere in Canada, because there's too many people in the cities and not enough services. That's the problem. Now, if you need a new knee or a new hip, you're going to wait. Number one, you're a senior when you need that, you know, and they don't seem to, nobody looks after us as well as they look after the younger people, you know. And I haven't experienced it personally, but I've seen this. And I worked in healthcare all my adult life. I worked in healthcare on the West Coast, and now I live here. Definitely the healthcare here on the Gaspé coast is fantastic, in my opinion, you know, but that's what I'm used to. The States is a very different system, and I understand how you feel about it, you know. It's a totally different system, you know, apples and oranges sort of thing. So that's it on healthcare. Any questions? That's my spiel. Oh my God, I wouldn't have a clue. I never ever looked at my paycheck. It used to go right to the bank. How much? 40% people from BC, no. 40%, that's big. So we are paying for our health care, folks. You know? Yeah. So. Whether we're using it or not. Exactly. There's lots of it here in Canada. Welfare. Well, of course. Someone just asked if people are not working, and I'm saying welfare, and yes, I'm not kidding you, they get better care than us poor working slobs, you know. Yes, it happens all over, I think. And there was a thing, in fact, on Facebook this morning, there was a person there all covered with tattoos and piercings and whatever, and it said, "Keep working," and the caption was, "Single mother of 15." It said, "Keep working, you're paying to raise her family." That was a caption on Facebook this morning. It made me laugh, but you know, that's everywhere, right? You know, so. Any other questions? Okay. Us. The money's coming from us. Taxation is high. Yes, exactly. Yes. Tax is high, in particular in Quebec, but, you know, all the provinces. The best tax system was in Alberta, still very low, but it is, you know, it starts at 30%, your tax. So, you know, it's pretty high. Yeah. And but now municipal taxes, although they have gone up,